it's sad to think that after tomorrow, the Unity Cup will be done, right? All the bragging rights will be gone. People won't be throwing rice at me anymore, which, quite frankly, I mean, it's always a conversation. Senegalese jollof is good, says the Ghanaian. But I want to start this conversation before we talk about the finals, the semis. Let's have some fun, right? Well, I think one of the things that made the Unity Cup work is that you had the rivalries. You had teams from a diaspora, and look at their imperial backgrounds, which is a whole conversation. I know, but you had Nigeria v Ghana, you had Trinidad v Jamaica, built-in regional rivalries. In a perfect world, we want to start here. In 2 years, let's just say they decide, let's do another Unity Cup, or flip it around. Let's say another country, say, dare I say, because I'm going to say use them, France says we want to do something like the Unity Cup. What would be the next best teams you'd want to see in it? You can include your country. You cannot include in country. Let's get into this conversation, and we'll talk about the final and third place game. It's me. I got JD from IMAX it, We Max it, They Mask it, whatever. We're here. It's a Friday. 2 straight days. Guys, this means you won't see me till August. These are the rules. These are the rules. But as we're here, that's a conversation. JD, welcome again. Stop trying to do 8-hour streams. It's not healthy. Sleep is lovely. Please enjoy it.
Yes, thanks for having me. We are back again, as what I've said. I had told you guys we're coming back tomorrow, and we are here. We're here to deliver. I thought that was a very good first question to ask. I never had I never had enough immediate answers for it, but I still believe that I could put something together. I think I would still put Jamaica back in it, Nigeria in it, but I would have stretched it to 8 teams instead of 4 teams. You understand me? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know which window I would have found for it. And that's the problem. But if you want it to get bigger, you can't just say you're going to swap out the teams in order for it to get bigger. Only I think bigger just mean slightly more as well as to even the teams as well. So just as you can say, next team, you can say, okay, let me put 4 more teams.
I don't know. I think what works for it is because it's condensed and it's simple, right? They don't have the window space. In theory, they could, because I think the first year they did the Nations League finals, the teams all played 3 games unofficially because there was a third on outside the window friendly, right? So in that game, after the US beat Honduras in the semis, then they beat Mexico in the finals. So then afterwards, they played Costa Rica as just a friendly. So you could do something like that. I think if I look at it, right, I don't know if you can really grow it out with that many teams for it to be that type of a mini tournament. Plus, it's the year right after the World Cup. I think it'd be the perfect year to do something like that. That's why I think it could go. I would love to see more. The question is like, which other diaspora countries would you want to involve it? Right, because it's the unique. What it works in England because London has such a rich diaspora of a population that you can pull from it. Right, if a country like France did this, which is like my next call, if France did their version of the Unity Cup, you're just saying, okay, France, Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire. I think we're good. Maybe I don't know if they're gonna call it Guadeloupe. Maybe Haiti gets an invite. No, Haiti wouldn't get. Based off political things, Haiti doesn't get an invite. But if France did that, you have France, you have Cote d'Ivoire, you have Morocco, and then that's not a bad. And then you say another North African country, probably Tunisia. That's not a bad like French version of the Unity Cup, right? Like I think that could be fun. And if they did another one, like if you did a Commonwealth one, where you'd say, okay, England playing Scotland or England playing the Republic of Ireland or Northern Ireland, sorry, is always going to be a highly contested game. But maybe we don't need England for that. Maybe it's just okay. We'll do Canada, Australia, Scotland, and Wales. Right? We'll have the Commonwealth brethren get together and play it that way. I think it'd be fun to kind of see what that would look like. But if you had to build for you, JD, it's 2027. The organizers say I need 4 teams for the Unity Cup 2027. Who are your 4 teams you're calling? Yes, you can project a bit, but who are the 4 teams you can? You can include the same 4 again,
it's in England. And it's in England.
It's we're gonna put in England for this case. Yes.
All right. So in our region, England, Belgium, Netherlands, France, Morocco is very, very popular. All right. So Morocco would be the one, and obviously they are definitely getting up there in Africa, one of the top teams in Africa, right? At this point. So
I'd
I would
argue the top, but yes.
yeah, you can argue all you want. Morocco is a top team. You can't take away their World Cup run. So
Oh,
Morocco, um, Morocco, and I would say Morocco. I wanted to say Egypt, but no, Morocco, England. I would put in it. England. If I could get England, Morocco, and England would be a very good one. That's two that I would have used instant, and then now maybe a France. Are you don't think France works?
Well, I think it works because you have a lot of people from Trinidad, from Jamaica, from Ghana, from Nigeria in England as it stands because the Commonwealth. Pulling from it may not work, but if you're trying to build a Unity Cup just for the eyes, I mean, it's a different vibe overall. So yeah, I can see those working. I mean, if it's me, I'm thinking I would look and say, can I get Australia over? I think I could get Australia over. Australia or New Zealand. Probably Australia would be the name, right? You get Australia over as a team
I have my
just
phone
for
now.
it. But again, you have to remember that the whole purpose of the Unity Cup is that diaspora presence. That's the purpose of it, right?
All right. So
It's
what I would
bringing in
do,
those different cultures that way, right?
what I would do, I will stick with the Jamaica, Nigeria, and
Okay.
then at England, Morocco.
England, Morocco in the Unity Cup. Okay.
Yeah, because I want no. Remember. I'm just giving you my teams. You
Mhm.
don't know who will end up in the finals because if Jamaica, England ends up in the final, or Jamaica, Nigeria ends up in the final, that is ridiculously big. And I think that maybe Morocco would have been Morocco, England would have been less. All right, so people, I don't know what happened to Africans, but let me continue. Please do like, button, share, and subscribe. I do believe that that what he just placed to us is very good. You know, I think that it could have worked. And you would have to put England in it, so at least because all of these teams would have wanted to beat England. You know what I would have asked Africans? He's back. All right, good, he's
Yeah.
back. What I would have no, I could take Morocco. Let me put an asterisk between Morocco right here and put India. India. India is not as good, but the hype around it, because remember that would have been Nigeria, Jamaica, and India. All of
Mhm.
those three teams would break their backs to beat England. So those stadiums would be jam packed. Nobody else can hold in them. You have to get like 200,000 seater stadium. I
Mhm.
don't I me I don't think you know how full that stadium would be if you have India versus Jamaica. I know India versus England or Jamaica versus England. Maybe
Mhm.
less with Jamaica versus England because they have seen it before. You know?
No, that's fair. I think when you look at that, because I'm Wikipedia searching this as we're going. This is live as we're looking. Like some of the diaspora within there, right? Maybe because I'm seeing,
So people
actually,
give your take. Give your take
yeah,
below as well. What you think?
I think I know the right answer. The right answer is I think here's what you do, and we'll have fun with this. I think the rule for the Unity Cup should be if you don't make the finals, you can't come back the next year. So let's move with that. So Nigeria and Jamaica
Okay.
are going.
Mm-hmm.
I know which African team I'm calling because I just looked up. I'm like, okay, what? There's how many? Oh, it's about 53,000 in London. Okay, cool. South Africa. We're bringing the South African national team.
South Africa has 52,000 in London. That's a good amount. Wow.
So that's your call. So that would be the African. Now, if I have to go Caribbean, then it's like, okay, Trinidad was one. Do I need? Am I gonna
80
go?
or Cuba.
Perhaps Cuba. Well, for England, huh? Or I could just now see now I'm looking up. This is now World Geography Day today. Okay, British Empire. Let's take a look here. Where did it cross from? All righty. Cool. Yep, terrible slave trade. We never liked that.
Okay, 3,000 something is not enough. You know,
Mhm.
as what Kenji could have said, not enough. We can't work with that. To get India. This is what?
Ooh, this could be fun. You could do Egypt because that Egypt would be the call. Because then you have Egypt, you have Salah there, you still have Marmoush. That would actually be a nice. So in this hypothetical world, we take if you make the semis, you keep your spot for the next Unity Cup, and then it's like, oh yeah, because that would work. That would work. So then you go South Africa, Egypt are the newcomers, and then you have Jamaica and Nigeria because they are the semifinalists. They are there. They move on. That's my ideal. I think let's have rules. I want random rules or things that matter. So if you make the finals, you get to come back to the next Unity Cup. If you don't, you have to wait 1 year before you can come back. So for Ghana and Trinidad, it's harsh, but we got to wait till 2029 if they do it again. That's assuming they do the Unity Cup every 2 years. But I think those would be great two matchups to kind of move through. I think that would be the game. Yeah, I think that would be the right countries. You have Egypt, you still have the name drag, you still have the name recognition with Egypt, and South Africa would be less of the names, but you'd have more. It'd be more of a okay. Nigeria is here for you. Nigeria is definitely here for you, so that's where it's going to be. That would be my two calls. That would be fun. That
Well,
honestly would be fun.
all I know, India would have filled the stadium. Because India has 1.8 million
Mhm.
in England in total, but obviously the football quality is not the same. So I can
Mhm.
understand why you did not want to
Mhm.
even attempt that. But yeah, I feel it.
No, it's fair. We'll get through some of these comments, and you know, my ADHD is gonna run this day today, so that's fine. All right, Prince Hood, good to see you again. Martin Baker, big up yourself. Blessings to you, Sebastian. Always a pleasure to see you, good friend. Always a pleasure to see you, guys. What we've been asking here. So if you got here late, if you had to, if the organizers came to you and said, "We need you to do the next Unity Cup," which four teams are you bringing on? I use the criteria of if you make the finals, you get to come back again. If you didn't make the finals, you have to wait at least 2 years to do it again. That's just my criteria. You can use whatever criteria you want to use, kind of work with it that way. So that's where I came up with Egypt because relatively close. You have Marmoush there, Salah still there, and then South Africa, a good
Oh,
rivalry.
that is
Yeah.
also good. That is also good. The fact that you're using current people inside the Premier League as well, so you're
Mhm,
not just looking at the country's
mhm.
population, but also the clubs as well to boost that. Okay, that's that. You cheated a little bit in getting your stadium more filled.
But it works. Hey, who doesn't want
Yes,
to go see Salah and Marmoush, right? Liverpool's
yes, but
finest
that's what
and
I'm giving you
City's new
your
toy.
flowers
Hey,
right
we're
here.
here.
That's an ex cheated. That's the way how to cheat me out of India, which is based on the
Hey,
population.
yes. I see you. I see you, Clinton. I see you. I see you. Hey, I. Hey, Clinton, do you want to jump on this? Let me know. I will send you. I will send you the link, Clinton, if you want to jump on
Nice,
this.
your boy. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Ted Dexter. Okay, everyone rolling in. Massive respect, man. Thanks very much for coming over. As what I've said, always support these contents. You learn so much from it. Believe me, because Africans, I always show him respect because I just think he always stay football. And my dream was to always get into 55,000. Don't know when that is going to be, but it looks like it's possible. Maybe next year. You know.
I'm just trying to get to 20. I'm trying to get to 5,000 at some point. You're like 55. Like,
and
oh, it
and
must be
listen,
nice. It must be nice.
let him talk. I told you I'm getting him to 55,000. I am telling you, if I do videos on this channel every day, it's getting to 55,000 by the end of the year. He knows that. I just because I don't have the time, and he will make his mind up, But what? Let me give him respect. He
Indeed.
called me out saying that I am not the what he said, the Africans. You said I'm not the football doesn't live with me anymore because I'm too busy, and that is good because that tells me he used my own slogan on me, showing flexing on me that he's doing more videos now, which is very good because I spent 3 more years before that trying to convince him to turn up on time. I'm informing any Africans. I'm telling the people
Fair
the truth.
enough.
You know, so
All right.
yeah.
So
So
we were going to do, and I haven't decided. I just decided to switch this up here because I know you'll be fine to move on this. Your team of the semifinals, right? We're building an
mhm.
11. Our team of the semifinals. Guys, drop your predictions on it. Unity Cup. Who is your team of the semifinals for this? We saw four good teams. We saw two great halves of football, and we saw two dominant halves of football. And so, to me, I think it's a fair conversation to say who are our best 11 that we saw. And for some of us, that's players that we already knew. And for others, it's players that maybe you didn't know were things as of yet. But that is the conversation we want to have here. Your best 11 here. And we're going to go with a classic 4-3-3 because we're classic like that. So we're building our best 11 of the semifinals. Let me get you our lineup builder. I was going to use one of the lineup builders, but I know it doesn't have all the players, which is unfortunate, even though we can actually put the faces on it. But we'll actually try that. We'll try lineup builder
yeah,
here
yeah,
and see if it
yeah. Let me
works
just
for us.
do that. Let me do that. No problem. Think so.
Alrighty. So, daring.
Rio Cardenas in there for sure. Yes,
Mm.
I thought he had a very good game against Jamaica. He showcased his intelligence for a little kid, and that's what I like. That's what I like. More
Mhm.
football TV. Bless up to you. Thanks for being here. That's what I like. I like that young kids coming through. Because remember, even though the program for Trinidad is going, it's like some lesser version than
Mhm.
what Jamaica players they're bringing in, like lesser version of the quality players them that Jamaica bringing in. So Cardenas is like one of the actual Mother Seals type players. Them obviously, maybe Mother Seal is still at a higher level because he broke through, but Cardenas looks like he has that ability to go there. And I think if Trinidad continues to pick off that little tree, it might just turn out to be something very much fruitful. Because they
Mhm.
could be somebody like a Panama that just gets the best out of what they have. You know, because sometimes it doesn't have to be a big pool of people like maybe Jamaica that can just get everybody and fill
Mhm.
a roster. Obviously Jamaica don't utilize it because of all sorts of reasons. Yeah,
Mhm.
but Trinidad could what I like what I saw from Trinidad. Their football, it's looking very good. It's exciting. It's exciting, even though
No,
it have
indeed.
less quality.
I goalkeeper. I think it's not a hard conversation to say who the goalkeeper of the semis was. I don't think that's hard. Do you have any nominees? Even though I mean, Jamaica's goalkeeper a little bit shaky. Um, Trinidad's goalkeeper did what they
Africans,
could. Yes,
listen to me. Jamaican Shaquan Davis cannot go in the goal. Africans, they saw me trying to fight to give him 4 today. Everyone gave him 0 in the rating, so I don't know how he's gonna get the best goalkeeper.
he's not going in.
Um,
No.
Stanley,
Yeah,
out of all of them, Stanley look like he's the only one that's Enwabali, he's the one who only looks like he gets it. And he was dancing on top of his box and gave away almost a free shot, a free goal to Ghana. So even him made mistakes. So be honest, Trinidad goalkeeper might get it. Goalkeeper might be the best one. Because
see,
you don't think so?
I think in terms of what they had to do saving on the ball, I think Steven gets it for me
Okay,
because
okay, all right.
based
It's
off of the
okay.
chances, like look, Nigeria, yes, I don't think any of the goalkeepers were solid per se, but I do think out of the four, Nigeria's keeper had the best showcase in terms of having to save things and be available
Yeah,
for this
but
team, right?
remember, he saved two. He saved three.
Mhm.
One with Burrell breaking through, and he had to come out and claim. But you know what?
Mhm.
He gave away a penalty, so you have to call that as well. And but because I saw him made so much saves, because remember he made a save right at Greg Lee in front of like 6 yards. You know that was a
Yeah.
very good save as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, you have a lot. You have a lot of people did a lot of things. So I think it came down to Stanley or Trinidad goalkeeper. Yeah, let me know,
Yeah.
guys. Drop your comments in the chat. What you think? Who you think was
Yeah. That's going to be the problem, but that's okay.
Yeah,
So we're going to
Spain
swap
beating Brits off.
here. So here we go. So that's my call. I think Stanley is the goalkeeper of the. I think Benjamin Asare. I mean, the first goal doesn't go through him per se, but I mean it's 1v1 with a goalkeeper with a 9. At that point, you're hoping your goalie can maybe bail you out of a bad defensive situation. He doesn't there. You need your goalie to bail you out sometimes. You're not going to be perfect defensively. But in terms of the work they have to do, I think Ghana was on fire that second half. They did test, I think, the most out of the second half. And I think because of that, I'll give it to Stanley as the keeper for the second half. And I think he's my goalie for the semifinals. So I understand wanting to go with Trinidad as goalkeeper. For me, I'll go with that. But we can have a debate on that as we go. Backline. I know backline will have conversations. There's no doubt. But are there players? I saw Rio Cardines come in, except for Marvin, you'd say? Okay, that's a fair point. All goalkeepers were mid except for Marvin. That's fair, Prince. I won't deny that. I don't think anyone was great either, but I think ultimately it's a conversation of, I think I liked what Stanley did versus Ghana, maybe because I had most.
And I would agree. I would agree. I would agree as well. I will go with Stanley. Just that another because Stanley was much more stronger on his foot. Even the ball that he passed to Ghana, I still believe that he was in control. He was just too comfortable, and that is the difference. Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, so I agree. I will concede that one.
But I can understand what you're saying. I mean, Trinidad's goalie has to try to save 2 penalties. That's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. So I can understand that. So those would be my 2, and I think that's a fair back line. Do you want to go left to right or right to left?
Anyone is okay for me. Left is let me start with left. All right.
Okay. Left backs. Who did you like coming through? Let me see if I can pull up those games here. But left backs, who? Yeah, Gideon Mensah started for Ghana.
Bruno was left back. Right. Mensah was for Ghana. Jamaica. Yeah. Bell was for Jamaica, and for Trinidad. What's his name again for Trinidad? Remember his name, but god damn. Yeah, I need to get that up and running. Yeah. I just sent it over. People, make sure to come over to Africans and subscribe because I just linked it for a little minute. I'm going to make sure I shut it off before you play the music because for some reason they don't play with my channels, you know? Yes. All right. Yeah, man. Thanks everyone for coming over, or we're just doing it over on Africans. Africans, let me tell you, Africans, okay, Africans FC, please come over and drop a like on it. All right, yes, but I think a lot of people coming over because we're sharing all the links to it.
Okay, perfect. All
right. So who you have as your best player so far?
On the left side, I'm just wanting to make sure I have everything that I have here. I think. Okay, left side. Okay. Ooh, see, now he's a right. That's unfortunate because that's going to be a fun conversation. Left, looking at the matchup that they had for SofaScore has Trinidad playing in a back 3, which means you either put Jones in there, possibly, or you look and say, is it Raymond because he's on the left side versus that? Because I thought for sure. Because I won't lie, this is what I want to do. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I wanted to put Jones on the left side, or I wanted to put Cardines on the left, and I wanted to put a young Ghanaian who really showed out well in the second half on the right. That's what I wanted to do. But they're both on the right. Maybe that's me being a little bit selfish there. But fullbacks wise, right? Amari Bell on the left. I don't think he had his best game.
No, Amari Bell looked like he dropped a step at one point, so that could cause a problem. So I could understand if you don't want to use Amari Bell, and definitely for Trinidad, it would be also as well. So I think Bruno would have to be the one leading the charge for left back. Yeah, Bruno would be.
Okay.
Bruno would be the one you're looking at to say that he would have been, because he was comfortable right throughout, remember? And they were kind of in, like, pretty much, you remember the second half came after, the second half came after. So
yeah, and I think that's where it is. Like, it really does come down to those games were tales of two halves. And so I think it's fair to look at that one half and say, hey, what happened here? Musa, I know you're here. Good to see you as well. But it's tough to say on one side. So you're gonna go who was your call for left
Bruno.
back? For Bruno,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would Nigeria, I'm guessing.
Yes, it's Nigeria, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure so I get the names in. All right. So Bruno is the call for the left back, guys. If you have a different one, put it in the comments below. I'll give it to you because again, as you know, I want to do the thing where I just put my two right backs on and say whatever. Center backs. Center backs
would be a very good conversation because I think you have a lot of people that did so good. You could look at it from all angles. So center back now. I thought that Ajayi was very good right through it. Because that was the game that I was looking for him, and not being with Ikang and those guys. Oh, he's going to be the leader, and I thought that he did much better than what most would have expected. He did so. So Ajayi would be my conversation. I thought that Oldgate was good. Oldgate was good. Recovery, dictating the pace. I like that from Oldgate. Yes. So those are my two. Yes, those would be my two. Who would you go for in your opinion?
I think Ajayi makes it for me. I think let me ask you it this way. I think Holgate had a solid game. How did you feel he did versus say how King did beside him? I'll just ask it plainly that way because I don't necessarily want to lead you anywhere, but like I don't think King had a poor game. I think there were moments where he shut off. And I think when that's something that you kind of notice with him. Sometimes he'll ball watch or he'll push a little bit too much, and that'll create more space for incoming attackers in. Or he'll step back and that gives more space to attack. But comparing the games, Holgate and King, what did you like from both? And kind of where were the areas where you thought that they could improve there?
All right. So, for instance, the sole reason why I gave Oldgate above King, I do believe that this is the game that Oldgate actually took charge of him being the leader defender. So he's the one pushing in midfield and linking plays, dropping off, and also he had more energy than King. I thought that King was very low on energy. I think he thought that he was leading defender because he stops every time pointing for people to go where they need to go. So he was just playing a leader role in his head. But the actions on the field, I want to give more credit for. So when I saw Bell run over to save him, Lembekisa run over to save him, and also Oldgate went over to save him. I think those gave them extra point over King. But I still never said he's bad because I still believe that he handled the ball good enough, which is controlling. He did that well. He linked up and did what he had to do over at a rough side because he has two kids. He had Mbekisa and Dixon over that side, and even he got a yellow card, and it was down to a error from one of the younger kids, which is Dixon at the time. So it was a tough time for him. So I still gave him credit, but at the same time, still return to tell you guys that I would have to give Oldgate slightly more than King in that department, even though both of them were good. They were good in my opinion. Both of them were good.
Okay, and that I can understand that feeling. Again, I think Prince says the point, and I'm not trying to give King credit for scoring a penalty. Hey, you get credit for doing it, but that's an erase your game.
Aside from the penalty as well, I still thought he was good enough in the game, but King, the Oldgate was just slightly better. On top of what he's doing, he's commanding the play. Normally, King would have been the one forcing those longer balls and stuff. It's Oldgate doing that now because the right hand side was weaker and Jamaica identified it. That's why King dropped off to see if he can get the space to help himself if an error takes place from Dixon and Lembekisa. So he had more time. Holgate had more time to rotate in that place. So that's why. So, but if you go the Holgate, the King role, I have no problem.
I'm probably leaning more so with Holgate just because I did like his game slightly better. King will get the spotlight and the shine because, again, he scores the penalty, and that's nothing wrong with that. But again, the quote Prince Hood, just because you score a goal doesn't negate your whole game, right? In the same way that you look at, like there are players I'm sure we'll get to later where we'll say just because they played, just because they created positively doesn't mean that they also don't have areas they can improve. And so I'll give it to Holgate in that sense. And I think now we get to the interesting one because I was trying to avoid this, but we're in this, the right back. I think to me it's a clear 2.
Did you put a next centre back? Because I only saw Ajayi so far.
Oh, we're gonna put Holgate into it. We're putting Holgate.
So gets a spot. Nobody from Ghana?
No,
or nobody from Trinidad?
Anan came in and was able to defend a little bit better, but the defense took a half. The defense took a half to really get settled, and it's tough on a young player like Aaron Essel where he comes in and he struggles, then he gets hurt. But I think the second half, it's there. So I think the other center back will put as Holgate there, and then we'll get to the debate I was trying to avoid. But let's have it. Let's. To me, the right backs. I think there's 2 players on the right that clearly stood out, and because of that, it's going to be a fun debate as to who gets to make our team. But for you, who are your right backs that you're looking at?
Ooh, I am the right backs. The right backs. Ooh, that's a tough one. Lembekisa definitely not for Jamaica at all. I was not impressed with Lembekisa. I thought that he struggled because that right hand side, they all struggled, to be honest. They all struggled. So, ooh. All right. And Nigeria, right back for Nigeria. I think that's one of the
I'll just spoil it for you. I'm not looking at either of those countries. So
yes, no, I'm trying to look. I at this point, I want to say maybe it's going to Ghana. What say you? Because remember, the second half was a little bit different. Would you give that right back kid the spot?
I think it's between him and Rio Cardines. I think it's either it's Enrichi or
but Cardines could be classed as a midfielder and as a wing back because
they have So I'm looking at their lineup has him playing as a wing back.
He was longer, so we're gonna give him the nod. But it could be a fight between those 2 kids. They definitely look energetic, and 2 kids that might be special for both countries.
The best part, they're both 19, right? I think Cardines came in
with
more pedigree, good. Right? Cardines still at Crystal Palace doing well, and I think if you're looking at recruitment program, that boy's played U17, he's played U20, and then he gets his debut here and almost scores. He creates the second goal based off of his free kick. But man, Richie honestly did. I mean, if you could see my face, I was just happy. Like, look at this young boy defending, showing passion and hearts. Like, honestly, it brought joy to me. But I think it's a fair conversation. I'm gonna give it to Rio Cardines because I think he has the more pedigree. But hey, number 5 for Ghana, do not sleep on him.
I am very Cardines slick, slick, and I can't even say Cardines is just a better forward player because hold on, let me get his name because I don't want to butcher his name. I can't just say that because he's so good going forward. So the people, I really love that I saw those kids because they really showed us that we can't count no team out in today's football. That was beautiful to see. But Cardines, I could understand why you go that direction, but it's not impossible if I do give it to Ghana. That kid was so amazing. Even though Kanye spent more time on the pitch, I still believe that his impact was slightly more. Urenki, yes,
Yeah.
Urenki. Oh my God, to me, I think he might stole it. So people, let me know. Let me put a poll. I don't know if you can put a poll and ask them, or maybe if you have watched the game, people, let me know the Cardins from Trinidad or Urenki from Ghana. I do believe those are two special players. They were so good. I saw even articles on them after, and it was hearing
Yeah.
people of African Africans.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not giving him the credit as to what people saw.
And that's the thing. Like, if you look at the flow of how the game went, right? I think Cardines was at a level for the entire game. I
That
think
is
when
true.
Urenchi comes in and he's defending, and you see him chasing down wingers, cutting them off, winning the ball, and then immediately busting back up the pitch, you're just like, ah.
God, man, that was
After
special,
that
man.
first half, you were just like, I'm JD. At that point, I won't lie, I was like, I'm happy. Like, if I learned this is fine for me. And then they're just like, no, let's switch the ball, let's start scoring, and then others got going. So I can understand.
Okay, well, the
And it's
chat is going for Ghana, you know. So
they are, and
I,
I don't
and,
mind that.
and
Hey, I
yeah,
don't mind.
and I'm telling you, but the public would have gone for him as well. Thanks everybody for coming in. Please do any one of the channels you're on. Please do hit the like button, and if you're on WeMax, it come over to Africans and drop a subscriber and drop a like as well, because this is something that we want to continue. Double D's, back to back. So believe me, we are doing good. All right, yes.
We're doing so good. Yes, we're doing this, JD. And I'm looking at my schedule. I'm gonna die. Did you have tomorrow the women's tomorrow? I'm already booked, and then there's the women's friendly against Haiti. There's Unity Cup finals. There's women's under 20 for
Thank
CONCACAF.
you very much. And
JD, from this
we
point,
need to work something out, or we can get those things covered. All right,
I'm gonna
bless
die.
up, Tycoon. Yeah, man, we
Mhm.
keep it positive. We saw what we are doing for Tycoon, so we could not be keeping it positive, more positive than what we're doing, Big Boss. All right.
Indeed. All right,
One
everyone. Let
before
me get to
you.
everyone who's here, because again, when you got the dual stream going on, I have to
Yes,
pay
it's
attention to
start
everyone and
running
say,
mad. Yeah.
all right, so Steph's good to see you as well. Properties for sale in Jamaica. Let me know. I have but small monies to play. Prince Hood with the comedy, all the party. I saw this today. There's parties in England. Liverpool has an EPL party, Chelsea UECL party, Tottenham UEL party, and Arsenal has Thomas Partey. Hey, good for you. Good for you. It's a good time. Issa Allen, good to see you as well. Good to see you. Oh, Sanus Media, good to see you as well. Martin Baker, we saw you already. Mindset Media was the better of the two in your. I think it was a bigger uplift for me, and that's all right. Sean, good to see you as well. Alrighty, all right. Lots of football coming, indeed, Chorus. Lots of football coming. All right. Thomas Asante could have played for Jamaica. He could have. That's a conversation on another day, for sure. Am I the soccer side or am I the football side? I'm a football side, but I'm here. I'm in Canada. So with the right people, I say football, and with others, I say soccer, because they'll understand what I'm saying. Like, when I'm with my Latin American friends, like my El Salvadorians, my Honduran friends, we're talking football all the time. When I'm with my more Canadian friends, we're saying soccer because they understand that better. But that's where it is. Loving it. All right. The midfield. Oh,
Yeah,
the mid.
it's
I
looking.
think
I
Chris is
like
an
these
easy name
Africans. I
for me
can't
because
get
I think it's
patient.
the best I've seen him play in months. Well, in a while, in games that I've watched. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I think Casey Palmer makes this midfield. I think that
You can't just jump to pick a midfielder, because midfielders were very good all around, man. NDD was not bad at all. NDD showcased that
yeah.
he still has to laced it up. So NDD, John Russell, KC Palmer. We can't just leave out what's his name again? completely. I don't know. How am I forgetting that dude's name? The general from our team. Why? I'm really
Ravel,
doing too much work.
Ravel,
No.
not Ravel.
No, I'm getting it. Yeah, Aiden
Oh,
was good
Isaac
just the
Hayden.
same.
Okay,
But
okay.
yes, Isaac Aiden. So we have like I think midfield is where we start to get trouble because even for Trinidad we had solution to midfield and if you want to break it down, even old man 17-year-old 17,000 years old Ayu kind of played an attacking
Hmm.
midfielder role in the second half, so that was also technically a midfield position. You understand me? But I know you ain't putting him in because you want to get him out of the team so long for years.
Listen, no, listen. We'll get to the top line in a second, but I don't hate. Let's be very clear. I don't hate Jordan. I think Jordan offers something going forward. I think he's best used. I think the problem with my usage of Jordan is I think he is best used out wide. Ghana doesn't have a strong hold up forward. Like they don't have a big hold up forward. And the thing that Jordan does well, he's a professional foul getter, right? He'll turn, he'll shield, he'll earn fouls. That is something he does well. But if you look at our nines aren't necessarily the hold up type forwards. Our nines are fleet footed. Our nines are players who are going to win on the counters. So I think it's more of a utilization and usage for a player like Jordan. But we'll get to the midfield. Guys, who is in your midfield team of the semifinals? I
All
said
right, so
Casey's in mine.
let me
But
go.
what midfielders do you guys have? Again, you have four teams you saw who played well. I was excited to see how Ghana would play in theirs. And I know Ashimiru had a few moments, but I was a little bit disappointed in Ghana overall in their midfield. I expected more, didn't get that. But for you,
Ooh. I'm trying to get mines. Ooh, I have it's super. I have to go. I'm gonna go with Dublin. I said Aiden and NDD first. I know that's gonna
okay.
take away a lot, but Aiden and NDD because NDD also pushed up a lot more, and Aiden can push up a lot more in the game. And I
Mhm.
thought both of them were very very solid. And then I will have to go for one of the more quality, the more top of quality play,
Yeah.
creative midfielder. I think I'm gonna only settle for one.
Yes. Perfect. Okay.
So I'm gonna take my one. Is said Casey Palmer. You're going with?
Yeah, I'll put
I
Casey in.
think I would
Yes.
agree. I would go Casey Palmer. Casey Palmer in.
That's fair. But
Casey
and that's
Palmer
fine,
in.
Moon. Tell me from what you saw, who stood out for you? Was it the first? I hope it was the second half. The second half was much more, for my sake, it was much the better half.
Jamaica got two midfielders in out of four teams. That is history. That is history. Out of all positions, Jamaica got how you felt about that. Jamaica getting two midfielders out of four teams. You are watching and you are coming up with that in your head. What you believe? Like how you feeling about that?
It's about time you use your midfield. That's what I say.
Okay,
It's
so that
about
you can't
time.
say anything. You can't say that Jamaica looks like they might be scary in the future.
JD, you know
What
how many
you can't
years
give
I've
us
been
this?
saying, why do you bypass the midfield? Why? You know the amount of years since 2021, in the year of our Lord, when I came onto your channel and said, why don't they recruit as if they just found out about the idea 2 days ago? From that day, I've been saying, well, why don't they use their midfield? Why can't they use it?
Well, I am not going to fight that. At least you still you have a fair point because clearly that is true. So what can I argue? Since 2020, I'm here Jamaica I come. That Surinamese Jamaican Sean Bass,
Yes.
he's something else, man. Big up
But
Ghana
yeah,
Rasta energy. Oh yes. That then we have Samuel. Big up yourself, Samuel. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. Yeah, man. Yes, they are still waiting because obviously things in transition. But based on the game and what we're talking about, they did well, and we have to credit them. So who are you going with, Sean? African's Casey Palmer is in for you. Um,
yes. I think Palmer and Ndidi are good shouts because I think Ndidi did well. So I don't
yeah.
think you can really debate. The third one, I think, becomes the
So Palmer and Indy you put it in, so Jamaica get one.
Well, who is it? Prince Hood
Uh,
brought up. Let me pull his comment up here. Right. Let me pull up his because Prince gave me a name. Dante Gilbert, he said it was in his for his midfield. And to that I say, does he deserve to be in this top three in the midfield? Did he play well enough to do so? These are I don't know. That's what do you think Dante Gilbert did a good enough job to merit a spot in our semifinal team of the semifinals for the Unity Cup?
Yes. Because if you want to spread it around, I have no problem, and that's why I had asked the question inside the chat to say who would you kind of prefer. I do believe that he deserves a shout. Um, Samuel just brought it to my attention saying that Casey Palmer he's too lazy, but I don't really understand where that comes from because maybe you missed a part when someone did not track back, but what happened to the other times that they track back? Because if you're looking at that, you could say the same thing about Cephas. He doesn't run back majority of the time, and even when he runs back, he's not in good position. But we don't apply that to them. If you're going to be classed as a forward player, how can you apply that to them so much? Or how much you truly rate it? Yeah, I don't know. You have to use your calculator on that one. So Samuels, I would love to hear your reply on that one. Yes, Africans, I agree. So you're gonna go. I thought that John Russell was almost everything, maybe slightly over KC Palmer as well, but we are just fighting for positions. So Africans want to take out one of our midfielders that finally came in, and played good,
But hey, the midfield is good. I figure the midfield will be a good conversation. I think the midfield will be a fun one. I think one of the wingers is already set, but we'll see. We're getting names here. I Revive saying John Russell should be in it. We're getting Tycoon saying Ravel needs to control the speed of the game. He can't do that when he's being subbed on at the 60th minute. So, if he's going to control the game, he needs to do well enough to start. That or whatever, the coach has to change the mentality, whatever it is. You can't control everything from the bench. Only the coach can do that.
Yeah, we have to be honest, man. So we love that we can say Ravel is doing very good, but at some point we can just call it as it is. And I don't think Ravel would have been one of the best players in the competition. What you saw, because we had a lot of players in the midfield, and I don't think Ravel was the second best on our team. Alone. So it wouldn't work. We have to be honest to ourselves. So Ravel did not cut it, but if you want to put him there for sympathy purposes, I have no problem because I like the guy. No, this is not Jamaica team by itself.
This is the team of the semifinals, guys. This is our team combined 11 of the semifinals. So we'll go, but I know this will easily turn into that. So this will be a fun time. But let's take a look at this. Once Rio Cardenas is in the team, I'm good. It's a fair point. Do we just put Rio in the midfield and say we're going to avoid the conversation because he technically was in the midfield as a wingback?
Yes, so unless you want to use three, just use Bruno as a centre back too as well. Just use Bruno, Ajayi, and Oldgate. So
we could let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna cheat because I tried to cheat to get both of them in, and then we went through. But I can let's see what we have here. I would put in Didi in the middle. Again, push back. Do we find? Are you enough to find? Okay, let's just this. I said Casey deserves to be in it. I got pushback on that. Chat, let me know. Does Casey Palmer, based off his performance, is it Casey and John, or is it Casey or John for you? Is it Russell or Palmer for you in this? Let me know right now because let's just settle that right here. It's okay, Tycoon.
Hold on.
Since when do I do Jamaican contents?
You don't hear this gang talking said, JD bro, you work hard for me cut your box. What did I say wrong? Why the violence? People you don't see people inside threatening me. What did I do to him?
Africans, what did I did? I just said
You
African.
hey, you know what you did, okay? I'm out here
No,
in Canada trying to
I
live a
said
life, okay? A
I
decent living.
said something. I said something about Ravel Morrison. Maybe you can put him as a sympathy number in the team.
Mhm.
But I like him. I think he offers something. I rate Ravel highly. So what kind of box you want to cut me?
Uh,
Oh my God. This is special.
but it's good. It's good. Okay, we'll
So we
do
have
that.
our three players as it Africans because
Yeah, you
we
know what? I'm just gonna put.
we're struggling to get our three players. I can't.
I look. I think Rio deserves to be in this 11. I don't think so. I'm gonna cheat and put him in the midfield. I,
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
cheat and put him in the
and use him
midfield.
as a. Okay. So NDD,
Yeah,
you're gonna keep the two and put Cardenas. Okay.
yeah. So I'll put in Didi there. Then I'll put Rio Cardines on the right side. So this is what we have
Okay.
so
So
far.
okay.
So no
Oh, the
Russell.
reason
I
why
just went with Casey Palmer, Ndidi, and Rio Cardines.
well, most would wanted to put Russell in, but you went for that. He said I'm gaslighting you. Gaslighting him. What did I do? Okay. So the comment about Ravel. Okay, the comment about
Okay,
Ravel. Okay, I'm
Rio
very
in.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm very sorry.
perfect, perfect.
I
Casey
know.
and
I don't
John,
want no
we got
war.
outplayed for the large spells of the game. That midfield was popping us. Okay, fair. And you two of them in our set. That's why it's Casey or John, and I'm fine with either or. Prince is happy. Rio is in, so Prince says thank you. Now I appreciate my payments later. Thank you. Up top, up top. I think
Ooh.
okay. Let's be
Oh
real.
my God.
To me, I think there's a simple one that's there, and I don't need to worry about one. I think Chikwueze clearly
So
is.
Chukwueze put in Chukwueze in instant.
Did you
Oh
see
my
what he
God,
did
this
to
is
our back line?
no. I think Chukwueze. I told you he has 5 of 5 runs and 75 fouls. Nobody could have stopped him. This is the most dominant. How much? How long he spent on the field? It's like they said, okay, you spend this long. It's time. Let's come off. Yeah, because this is a waste of time. Just come off. We have seen enough.
You didn't have to see enough. The first dribble was just like, oh, please make it quick. Just make it quick and score, please, because I can't do this. I can't live like this. But
I never said anything bad about Rafael. I just said, remember, look, I don't think he actually came in. He actually came in and heard what we're doing. It's the semifinals, best 11, and we're trying to find people. I vibes, you never listening. The reason why I shout out, because if he picks, he Chukwueze first, that I don't see Osifas reaching anywhere. And that's a problem because the two strikers, Borrell was fantastic, and this year's was ridiculously good. So how are you going to bench those guys?
I think
I
the
want
front
to
three
see a
is going to
pick
be
front
fun.
three.
Yeah.
I want to see a pick front three because he said Chukwueze has to play, which Chukwueze was the best player out of every team. Okay, so how the front three is gonna go, and those are two strikers. Borrell is a striker, and this year is a striker. So are we going to just drop one of them when they were two of the best players? Wow.
Yes, because it's my street. It's my
That is
rule.
wow. This year's created 2 chances and scored a goal, and Burrows created 3 chances and scored 2 goals. One was chalked off, but
Don't
one
forget,
has to
Thomas
come in.
Asante scores a goal and was lively as well. So if we're going by goals, we'll just put everyone who scored a goal up top, and we won't have a conversation. But I think that the front three is going to be a really fun outlook. I mean, if you go outright, I mean, are you going Chukwueze over Cephas or Cephas? There's the conversation. He earns 2 penalties in Ronaldo Cephas, or Chukwueze, who anytime you touch the ball, you're not winning this. So I hope he scores quickly.
Ooh, because maybe you should, because okay, all right, you know what, people, I want to see this. Bless up Lamar, bless up everyone that's coming. We are trying to pick this front three. Ooh, so Chukwueze. So everyone agreed that Chukwueze goes over the right hand side. Wow.
Are we agreeing? I don't think.
Because
I think the only person who said
Burrell in
anything
the,
differently was I Revived, who said Sifa should be in, and
but that's
it's
over
a
the
fair
left hand
conversation to
side.
have.
That's over the left hand side.
Oh, you want okay.
But
Jerome,
no,
good to
Chukwueze
see you.
over the right hand side and Cephas plays over the left hand side. But I think we're gonna I'm telling you, we are doing these two guys a disservice, Africans. I don't know. Oh, we do it. The two forwards and we disrespect the guys. Then I can't believe this, but it's okay.
Well, then
It's
what would
okay.
you put? What would you put in then? So again, this is not an
for
oligarch.
me, big up Jura, thanks for being here.
Yes.
For me, it's tough. Cephas could come into the conversation, but I am putting Burrell over the wide side because this year's can only play striker, and both Burrell and this year was better than Cephas. Chukwueze was better than Cephas as well. So the front three should be, but the problem is technically two of them are strikers. And that's why you're using that against me to gaslight the Jamaican fan base, you know? No. That's what you're doing to me because you know the truth. Burrell, we know that Burrell is the better player on the day. But now you put these years there that could rival him. You throwed him out. So he can't be. He was the best Jamaican player, but he can't make the team. Oh, that makes sense.
Well,
you know?
think, Jay, let me. I haven't even brought up the Ghanaians who played well. So can we add them?
Okay, well,
Christopher Bonsuba, who was a terror all game. Does he not get?
Ayu should be.
Ayu doesn't need to be here. We're fine.
But Ayu changes the game for you guys. You need to give the man respect. You have a problem with him. I don't know if you know his family or something.
No, I have nothing against the family. I hear they're lovely people. I hear they're lovely.
Okay.
But no, I think the front three is a fascinating one because there's arguments for so many. Are you going to just say because they scored goals or they created goals, they deserve to be there? Are you going to say because of how active and how impactful they were on the pitch? Because if you say that, you can say a Chukwueze. Yes, you can say a Cephas. You can say a Bonsuba. I think all those are fair. If you want, okay, they had great movements and you like what they did, there's Dixon. There's a conversation. If you have, hey, they were clinical in the chances they have, Burrell, Desers, Thomas Asante. Like, I think it's a tough conversation either way. So I think for me, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I don't think there is a wrong answer with that. Even though, as I'm going to say, except you can't have one person in it. And no, I'm not bad-minding that player. But I think there isn't a wrong answer for who you want to put top on your three. So, with that being the case, let's just settle it. I think as the 9, I think Desires, we can agree on Desires as the 9.
I know you were going to do this. And I can't push against you because he was playing the 9 only. Burrell was switching between left wing and the central striker. So that means this year's would have gotten it. And he did the same thing as this year's as well. So it's not like one was... definitely this year's would have gotten the nod over him. And I'm going to fight for Burrell over the left-hand side above Cephas. I don't care what people want to say because he can play over there as well. You know? Yes, because no, you put me in one spot, you know?
This is a democracy, so I'm ready to talk about it and go with it as we go. King and Duck should never wear a Ghana shirt again. I'm not too worried about it. We'll see how he does with that. Desires is a problem, says 1-1, and he gives trouble to anyone he plays against, and he did. He consistently gave Ghana's back line, who struggled in the first half, trouble. He was trouble for them. I don't know who didn't give him trouble. So Desires, I'm fine with. And then I don't think Dixon makes it, but I think it's if you're looking for.
No, I don't think Dixon is a conversation. I want him to talk for him, but other players were so better, you know. So you can't compare Dixon to Chukwueze.
Cephas or Burrell. What matters more, creating 2 goal opportunities or scoring a goal? What matters?
Yeah,
more?
But Burrell still created 3 goals opportunity to Cephas, and Cephas missed it inside of the goal. So you can't punish a man that created the 3 opportunities for him to score, and he failed to score it. And the guy scored on top of that as well. I think that it was not a no-brainer. I think Burrell was light years better than Cephas. It's not even a conversation. Better controlling, better run, lineage, ability to finish, ability to link up play. It was not even close. But if people like the excitement and I don't know. I don't know how to describe the player, but it is a conversation, and I love that it's a conversation, and I'm just giving my input on it. And I think Burrell I will pick Burrell as a winger over Cephas as well. So, but if others want to go Cephas, I have no problem.
Okay. So I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to use the criteria of goals. This is my criteria. So you have a problem with it? You know where I am. That's cheating. How is that? I'm using my criteria. 1-1. So for me, I'm going to say goals because I think that's fair.
But Burrell scores. Cephas didn't score.
So I'm giving it to Burrell in that case. But then if we're using goals as because that's a tough one. Because if you're using goals as a criteria, here's the flaw. Trinidad's second goal is Rio Cardines. Okay. He misses. Yeah. He hits the post. I think it's Molina who comes in and heads it in, and he gets credit for the goal. But it's all that goal is Rio Cardines, right? Do we give him credit for that? Are we just going to put him there because he scored a goal? Maybe, maybe not. We wait and see. So for me, if I'm using that goal criteria, that's the corner I push myself into where I can't necessarily justify everything. I think is clear he deserves to be there. Outside of that, I think it's a fair conversation for anyone. I think you can make arguments for the names that we brought up. Even a Bonsuba, who I think didn't get the credit didn't have the goal for how he played, but played well all game long.
His strength on that play. Remember the play around the 70th minute when he bounced out the play. Oh my God, that one was good. That one was good. Yeah, we had some good players, man. It's some very good players. Yeah, agreed.
And then you have the rest and then Thomas Asante played well. Jordan didn't play terribly. Again, his hold up was great.
I know.
I think he over dribbled a couple times, and that's what caused him a problem. That's me.
We know he never played bad. Yeah. We know he never played bad. It's just you trying to tell yourself that he was not in the conversation.
He dribbled himself into trouble, JD, multiple times. He dribbled himself into. He just had to lay it off. But then he said, "Let me get through," and he can.
Put it man where they didn't play is cheating. Okay. All right. So they're saying that we should have put players where they didn't play. But Cardi, okay, then that means we're gonna put more Jamaicans in it because now we have to put Russell over that side, and then we have to put Cephas over the right and left hand side. I'm
just gonna do this and enjoy my peace.
So then Burrell does not make the team. So you see what they're doing? This is what I'm talking about, because now you're putting up Chukwueze versus Burrell, even though Burrell had more goals as to your conversation. Yeah.
I think, but if you look at it earnestly, right? You should get something for what's it called? You do deserve to get something for creating goals, even if it's creating penalties. Now they have to convert them. There's no doubt, but you don't get it, right? The penalty that Demarai Gray misses against the U.S. because I just rewatched that game at home, right? Shamar earns that. We don't get to talk about it because Demarai missed it, but he still did it. I wish they would track it differently, but I think that does deserve. I don't know, and I think the problem with the front three is I don't think it should just be two Jamaicans and a Nigerian. And this is not my bias, right? This is not me bias. Okay.
All right. I'm loving that Jamaica is in the conversation. I don't believe that we deserve the two. I think we deserved one out of the three. But you talked yourself in your rules, and then in Jamaica getting the beneficial treatment from that, because I think only Burrell deserved to be in the conversation, in my opinion, because the others were different. They were carriers, they were link-up players, they were scorers, they were everything, And that's what I was trying to tell people on my channel early on, but they just never want to accept it because we have to always go with the excitement and not necessarily the overall package,
This is, and this is not fair to Thomas Asante, but this is a strong name. I think there's a shout for the names that we left off here. There is a clear shout for the names we left off. Thomas Asante, I think, deserves a shout here. Chukwueze, yes, because he brought fear every time, and I was already just sad. Burrell deserves a shout in there as well. But I think when you look at how do we feel about this 11 here as our team of the semifinals? I'm expecting a lot of 6s and maybe the highest of 7. Gilbert Princehood says again, I don't disagree with you, but over who? Who would you put Gilbert over Princehood? Who would you put Gilbert in over?
Well, Trinidad got 1 player. Jamaica got 1, 2, 3 players. And Nigeria has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. I think it's about right. So you don't put Chukwueze in. You gave Ghana 1. Okay.
I give Ghana
bad,
2.
Not bad. 2,
Yeah.
2. Oh,
Yeah.
you're in K. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're not going to fight you on that. People.
Give me
that's
a
listening-
rating. Give me a rating here. And let me.
I think it's a solid 8 out of 10. Yes, I think it's fair. You put Cephas in. Okay.
Clip this. Everyone says, like the man. Yeah, clip this now.
It's not about I'm a football man at heart, and I think it's one. Can we out in this, because this should not be the case, because the other guys are better players, and better on the days, but they don't get their chance because one claim that we got to play the position, even if the guys them can play the position but never played there on the day. You understand me? So one changed everything. All right, then I will give it a 7.2 out of 10.
7 point. We're putting in decimals now.
We're talking about the what the team can actually do, and I do believe that if I had Burrell with Chukwueze in my team with this year, I think it would have been a better front 3, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I said 7.2 out of 10. Because Chukwueze offers so much. Bar is very strong. I think I would choose Bar over the left-hand side as well and put Chukwueze over the right-hand side, and that would be a super 8 out of 10 because Bar is just a raw, talented kid,
No, I think, again, the thing I said yesterday, I think the exciting thing, if you're Ghanaian and you're looking at this team, it's what you already knew. There is talent out there. But at this level, they show that they, at least from a passion standpoint, were there, and their ability, it just, nothing brings more joy than when your team is disappointing you, and then a couple players say, we're going to put this on our back and we're going to change this game. And that just brought joy to me. But I think that's fair. 7, I think, is probably where I'll put it. Here, I think you could
7?
argue,
okay.
you can put it in different spaces. I think you could argue. I don't think the goalkeeper was much of a conversation. I mean, if you want to say Trinity's goalkeeper because they had to save 2 penalties and they didn't, that's a tough spot to be in. Understood. And they still made 2 good saves. Benjamin Asare made a couple good saves as well, but there. I think the right back situation, if either Yerenchi versus Rio Cardines, I think that's a fair conversation to have. If you wanted to do one or the other, then midfield, we put Casey Palmer in again. Are we rewarding scoring penalties or are we rewarding the play? I think that's the best he'd look. But I think if you want to say John Russell did well as well, I won't argue with that.
Yes,
Sammy
John Russell,
yeah,
to me, could have gone over Casey Palmer, as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the penalty scorers get the preferential treatment, in all the conversation.
Allegedly. And Palmer says everyone has a thought. Everyone has a thought.
still fighting. He's saying that Jamaica cheated their way to this position. So Princewood is
I
still
admire his commitment to that. I do. Like I have that type of commitment as well. It's the same as my love or lack thereof for a player like Luis Suarez, right? As a England, as a European footballer, like cool, you did great. As a Ghanaian,
and
we might
expert
fight.
King, except King. Okay, except King. Okay. Yeah, surprising. I don't know why Africans never just put King in and just call it everybody that scored a penalty, just get in. You know, yes.
If was ever to score a penalty, there'd be 2 people on the team. No one else scored penalties, so I need a team.
Good fireback. Okay.
So that's our team, guys. If you want to talk about it, let's talk about this real quick. Players you're looking for. I think the finals and the semis for you. You have the final, which will be a test of faith. Apparently, to some people, it'll be a test of your fortitude, according to others.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2 players you're looking forward to seeing on each side. So 2 from Nigeria, 2 from Jamaica for the final of the Unity Cup, also known as the loudest people of each area, because the loudest.
I nobody talks about this, but Teller is actually in their squad. So Nathan Teller would be definitely one that I want to see. Simon's that we know what Simon offers. So Nathan Teller, I do want to see in that team, and definitely I would go with Desires again, because Nathan Teller and Desires, those would be the 2 I want to see how they work. I don't know if Teller will get a start, and that is mad, because if Teller was in Jamaica's team, that would have been the greatest addition. And he can't get on the field, so I don't know what's going on. You understand me? I don't know what's going on in Nigeria. Like, they just love their local players a lot more. So it's madness, but maybe that we'll talk. A lot of Jamaicans will grab onto that part. Oh, Nigeria love their local players, even if they're big stars. They're not starting over the other guys. Them, yes. So, Teller and these years, I would say for Jamaica is very, very easy, very, very easy. Not even a question. Malik Madasil, want to see what he offers to that team. That's number 1, and definitely want to see if it's a repeat. Want to see our midfield, a repeat of our midfield. I want to see. I'm not hearing the Africans. You chipped out.
No, sorry, just side conversation. But no, yeah, I think those are 2 good names in terms of calling out for that. So Teller, and then Desires. I think, like I said yesterday, I think Desires has an opportunity to carve out a space where, if he's able to perform well, maybe he's a call up for Eric Shell, where he's saying to his 9s, "I need more from you. I need more from you, and you haven't been performing. So let me call him in to send a message to them." When you go flip over, Jamaica, who are 2 players you're looking forward to see?
I did name my 2. I said I have to pick a midfield. I put in Mothersill. Mothersill came into the team, and Mothersill is our boy. We pretty much we watched him, made his steps and everything, and not just that, because what he offers is like all 4 positions. So he's a complete forward. Maybe he doesn't complete the positions because he's young, but he plays cam, left and right, and also striker. So with that skill set, I think he could add in any one of the departments. So I want to see what he does, and if he can be effective against Nigeria, because people look at it and say he must perform, but if he performs, he goes in straight in Jamaica team, and people just start asking all sorts of questions, because his record at his club is outrageous. Maybe the best, not maybe the best record of anybody on the field, right? And then he would have come in and played against Nigeria and did something. So people better make sure they don't get what they wish for, because if he plays well, you're looking at him to make Jamaica main team. And not just in the main team. He might be out here talking about starting in some capacity, and that is ridiculous. So temper you guys' expectation. I just want to see the best from the kid. And then in midfield now, want to see something in midfield. Want to see KC Palmer repeated something, and John Russell repeated something. We want to see something repeated, and so we want something to take to the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I see you, Issa Allen. See that. when you're looking at those, because I think your two calls for Nigeria are good. I almost want to, not to say I want to ignore the midfield, because part of me says I've never seen it for that stretch. I want to bottle it and say maybe next time. Like, how do you think they should address trying to attack in Nigeria? Should they try and we had this conversation a little bit yesterday. Should they try to play them straight up, or should they try to sit back, whether it's mid block, not a low block? We're not conceding that much, but enough to bother them, but then enough to hit them on the counter and hopefully maybe steal the game that way. What do you think McLaren will do in that situation versus what you think they should do?
Who I think McLaren will I think he's gonna start up, because I think I've realized him. He's a realist. He's not going to come out and want to get embarrassed, because remember, he knows he's learning the culture, as what he said. So even these games, he wants to exercise some things to learn, But at the same time, he realized that the fan base takes everything serious, and he wants to play all sides. So I think with that, it's going to make him come out a little bit more cautious, try to get as much steel in the midfield. So try to get as much of the ball as well. Rather than just stick to the counter-attacking. I don't think he's going to do that in the first 15 minutes. Try to see if they can match with NDD and those guys. Because remember, it's not just to win this game, but also to see how you can match up with the rest of the teams and that you're going to be playing in the World Cup qualifiers and also the Gold Cup. You understand me? So you can't just try and do everything to win this game and then don't learn nothing to push over to the next game. So I think they're going to start a little bit slower in midfield progression and try to get the team, like not like what you saw for Trinidad. Trinidad, they were just half pressing Trinidad the first 20 minutes, like they don't respect them. I don't think you're going to see nothing like that. Nothing like that, because if you see something like that, it's going to either end very bad or it's going to end very, very, very bad. I never said any good in that, I just said very, very bad and very, 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 very bad. I don't see Jamaica to off-press Nigeria and Chukwueze and if Simons on the next side don't break away 16 times. It's like impossible. I don't think we have the players to stop those players. None at all. So we have to eventually play a lower block. And that's why I went for a 4-5-1. I heard people saying that it's scared. I think they just don't watch the players them. It's just one way it's going to end. All right?
And honestly, I think a 4-5-1, if you look at even like the first penalty that Cephas earns against Trinidad, he's coming from far deep and he just goes and they play the ball into space and he's able to cut in and create that opportunity. I think you are best suited there. Now, can they stay defensively disciplined enough if they play a 4-5-1, effectively a 4-3-3, however you want to look at it? I think that'll be the big key for me. I think I'm curious to see if they can have, and again, I think I gave you my prediction yesterday. I think it's going to be Nigeria 2-1, which means Nigeria will lose 1-0. These are how it always happens.
I don't see a 1-0 game. I think more goals are going to be in it because, as what Tycoon said, Nigeria defense drinking soup with fork. But I never talked about Nigeria defense. I said if I pressed Nigeria, it's going to end very bad. Because the counter is going to be there and everybody on the field can pass the ball. So it doesn't matter how bad their defense is. I just said on the counter. So that means I advancing up the pitch. And then now you have Simons and Chukwueze versus everybody. And this year's is already one of the players of the tournament. He runs for days. He just can't be tired. So I think that would be a super terrible idea because really and truly these are bigger level teams. Just like United States, regardless of what you say, Nigeria has the quality like United States and Mexico and Canada. So it's not a team that you're going to just disrespect like you're above. But we have to be honest to ourselves.
So you mentioned something. You mentioned Mexico, and I keep on thinking about this game. The game that they lose in they draw World Cup qualifiers, where Shamar gets a long ball and he scores, and he's clinical in that moment. And the legend of Boza continues there. If they expect not to get much possession in this game, that is Jamaica, do they have the forwards who can be clinical? if you're only gonna have, I mean, I think it will be a game where I think Nigeria will dominate more of the ball, and so for me, it's okay if Nigeria is gonna dominate more of the ball, then Jamaica is gonna have maybe like 3-4 good chances. Can you make the most of the few chances you're going to get?
The best finishers you have
Mhm.
on the team now today, I would have to say Cephas maybe 1 in 4 big chances. I'm not sure because I'm not reading off the stats. But based on what I saw, he misses more chances than what he scores, and it's not 1-2. It looks like it's 4-1. Yeah. Mothersill might be 3-1. Burrell seems like he's much more sharper and balanced. So I would want to say Burrell might be the better striker, natural striker out of all, like finisher out of all of them. Yes, Issa, he played in different competitions. His main position is striker, but because remember they have a lot of forwards there and a lot of wingers, so that's why he played cam and left wing. So anywhere he could have fitted in. But when you look at the EFL trophy, he played striker for the whole time. He never played any other position, just striker for EFL. All right, so that's his normal position, but he has to do what he has to do for the team and just become a better player. So that's why you see different heat maps overall. But Africans controlling the system, so that's why I never had a chance to bring it up. But I will do so at a different time.
But yeah, I think I think that's a big conversation for me. I think if they can, I think that'll be an interesting, and for me, I think I'll hate it because it'll almost turn into like what the Reggae Girls did under Lauren Donaldson, where they just said, look, practically we're just gonna do this because it'll get us results. And maybe that's what they need to do to get through. Because I think, again, my thoughts on Jamaica, I think they have much more talent than how they play some teams. And that's always been a bothersome for me. And that's I've never been shy about that. I think McLaren sometimes sets up the team to be way too defensive or to shut off way too early. And then next thing
you think Jamaica should be more progressive, even before not having so much midfielders named? Because you saying we have the talent, but if we never selected the players, then because you can't be telling me that you tell against St. Vincent, Makala in midfield, and you are telling me that it should have been good enough for you to be pressing forward when you have two players that are so fast. So are you saying that? Are you saying overall, like, because that game I don't think we had enough in midfield for it to go a certain way. So I could have agreed with the coach, but overall, you're saying
it's overall, because the problem I think for me with Jamaica overall is that the on paper always looks better than what you get. And that's where I always make the conversation where Nigeria and Jamaica is the same experience. It's just an ocean apart, right? The on paper doesn't match the on pitch. And if that's the coach, if that's between the ears, I don't know why it is. But that, to me, is where it becomes the more frustrating. And I think that's where the frustration for me. But if this is a game that you think is going to be like that Mexico game where you think Nigeria's going to have more of the possession and you're going to have 2 or 3 chances, do you trust your forwards to be able to, given the few chances they create, be clinical there? Does that mean if you're Cephas, do I trust you to maybe earn another penalty? Right? Maybe that's his way through. If it's a Dixon, do I see you being able to just get the ball into space and then get something on frame, right? If it's Burrell, if they get a good counter, can you manipulate the space to do something?
I think it looks like I would go with Burrell a lot more. I think Burrell seems like he has it more together than everybody else.
That's fair. And I think I understand that, but I mean, for me, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'll be looking for in that game. Because again, I expected an African side would win this. I've said that from the beginning. This is not nothing new. I thought whoever won between Ghana and Nigeria was going to win this. So I'm expecting Nigeria to win this. So can Jamaica do enough to change that? I think possibly they can. Again, you play the ball. The things I've learned from this, the ball is round.
EFL, he was not predominant left side. He plays left wing, left midfield, depending on their system. but he was always the striker when he goes up to EFL this season. But on the league, you had Poku and those guys that were very good. And sometimes Poku plays Cam. So they actually just fit him right there because remember at one point he had some problems with the team, and at one time he got frustrated, and the team and the fan base was having problem with him. So the coach had to force to put him on the field because the coach wanted to use him in the role, but they couldn't start him over the other guy. So that was the whole problem, and then he just come on and play wherever they put him. So that's why he played predominantly on the left-hand side in the league, but not in the EFL. The EFL, he got his position that he wanted because the next guy never played in that competition, none at all. I had said it to you, but I just don't know why you keep on fighting. You know, he said something is wrong with this side, man.
But yeah, so for me, that's what I'm looking for, Jamaica.
He's not stopping you.
They're gonna. I feel like McLaren's gonna look at this and say we're gonna defend, and then hopefully get them on the counter. In which case, it's your wide players. They're gonna have to create something, and it's either another Mexico game or it's a game where maybe they just aren't clinical in their chances, and eventually Nigeria breaks the dam open. And I think that's the type of game I'm expecting. If I'm wrong, whatever. I've not seen McLaren want to play a team that is at least similar to them, play them straight up. Right. The only time they've been able to do that was when the U.S. scored early and then they started to defend more, and then Jamaica looked like the better team for parts. And I think that's where I'm waiting to see.
All right, let me check. They said Warner Brown is in camp. 1 second. I thought I got some message, the reason why. So let me just check it because the people from there was updating me. That Warner Brown, okay. Let me just see. Warner Brown did make the trip yesterday. I don't know if he reached or whatever the situation is. Yeah, so he should be in camp, but really and truly, I don't know why he's going to play. You know, I don't know why he's going to play. You know, I think he's just there to see if he can extend, to see if he can get solar or something, because the jet lag will set in for him just the same as the others. Yeah, so. But I hope he gets to display something because all of these kids, I do want them to have an opportunity because they always say this opportunity they need. So let me see. He got an opportunity in the USL, but he never did nothing. At the time, was it USL or Europe? I think it was USL, something like that. I need to check. But this would be the second opportunity for him. Issa, they said, I am the agent for the player, Issa. When I told you that he plays striker, Issa, tell you what, save the questions. You can ask him yourself, Issa. Don't worry yourself. I'm going to let you ask him yourself. All right? And then once he tells you, you can go back on the heat map and thump up the screen of the heat map when him tell you when play. Because you are going to tell him that him don't know him play then. All right? Because I am telling you. All right, yes, he just mother still. He's like to get his data, you know. And so I said, you can ask him yourself. You know, you're gonna get the chance to ask him yourself.
All right, Deco says still thinks like the group can work over Nigeria. Still, you know, just hope that none fall asleep in the game because it's them. It's gonna be a slow game or it's gonna be an entertaining game. The way that these games have gone, I think it's gonna be a fun game regardless. I think there'll be chances. And I think Nigeria will have more chances, which means I think Jamaica has to make the most of theirs. Right?
Yes. If
the game ends 2-2, and I could see a game that ends 2-2 goes to penalties where Jamaica scores 2 goals on the counter and Nigeria misses 17 goals because we've seen that game.
That's Nigeria. Yes,
that's Nigeria.
Yeah.
That is Nigeria. Before we wrap up,
doesn't necessarily mean that Nigeria will score 17 goals, people. So Nigeria could still be the better team and not win the games because me and Africans have covered a lot of Nigeria videos and they have created 17,000 chances and some of the games that they have never win. You know, so don't count out Jamaica. We're just saying that Nigeria might be in the front seat at the start based on the midfield quality and the forward players that they have. But if time comes on and they miss 25 chances, you know, the sad thing is, you know, Africans, all the way, you said, you know, this year soon looks like he just wants one opportunity to score. So I think we have to be careful to say that we have to use the old
Mhm.
rhetoric against him, because he's
Yeah.
just in, you know.
Everyone's giving everything. Demo jump in and says Nigeria gained nothing less than 4.
Yes, Demo is on S watch, S watch, yeah, because his superstar just left his club and unfollow his club, I never believe that, that brother is ungrateful, man, that the way he disrespected, damn, can't disrespect Trent. His Trent, I'm talking
Yeah,
disrespect
yeah,
Liverpool.
yeah, yeah. Before we leave, the Ghana Trinidad game, Felix Afenijan
Yes,
is
yes.
back in camp for Ghana, and I wonder if they give him a shout at 9 and see what he can do. He hasn't been with the team since right before the shop window happened for Ghana, when Ghana said, "Hey guys, would you like to come?" And they all said yes. And then Felix wasn't with the team after that. But it'll be interesting to see what he can do, because I think outside the 9 position is one, I think, for Ghana that they have to do so much better. And yes, they've gotten contribution. Jordan has done well. You cannot deny how well he's played for World Cup qualifiers and how good of a player he's been holding up. But they still need a 9. They haven't found a 9 since Asamoah Gyan left. Some could say, if you want to have the argument, say they haven't had a 9 since Andre Ayew stopped playing for them. I'd say that's a conversation in itself. But I think between Felix, Thomas Asante, I think one of those 9s are going to have a good shout and a good game, and we'll see who's able to really step up. It's a great opportunity for them to at least get back into them. A lot of these Ghanaian players are playing to get into this World Cup squad. And there's few spots available, because if you look out wide, Ghana has too many wingers, right? Semenyo, Nwamwa, Suleimana, to name a few. Not, Iñaki plays out wide now for them, so
Iñaki?
you don't have.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought you would have missed out Inaki, yeah, and he scored a goal the other day. So put some respect
Right.
on Inaki's name,
I think what could be interesting, and I mentioned him, I've been saying him, I think Tariq Lamptey is interesting. I mean, not that he doesn't deserve to be it, but his availability might open the door for Iñirechi to come in and really steal that spot, that backup right back spot. And I think he'd be well deserved. So I think I'm curious to see what happens there. But I think up front, Felix Afenijan, then Christopher Bonsuba. Can you replicate that again? Show that to me again. And I think that then we'll start to call and say, hey, yes, he's 19. Let's see what he can do with this team. That's for Ghana. For Trinidad and Tobago, I mean, Rio, I've come to be entertained. Show me something. Show me more. But I think as we've watched CONCACAF youth team, so we've seen him at U17, we've seen him at U20. I mean, it's great to see what the player is becoming. He's starting to push at Crystal Palace. I think what he can do will be great. But yeah, those are players I'm looking for that game. JD, do you have any players you want to shout out here before we wrap this up?
Yes. Yorinke definitely is one that I'm looking for. As you talked about Lamptey, Lamptey. I think Lamptey's whole career for the last 3 years, I don't know if it's because he signed for Ghana. I can't say that, I'm just asking. I said I don't know if he's because he made the trip and maybe his body was not the strongest. So when he has to make distance travel, that injury prone players always break up when they are going on trips and stuff. So I never meant it disrespectful to say that Ghana's bad form just broke Lamptey, but
I'll make. Don't worry. I'll make my comments later. Don't worry. I'll make my comments later.
A hungry young player is there on his heels, and competition for places is always important. So I am not going to say, this is not Jamaica conversation where a man because I love that man, I should not want somebody else to be good. No, Yorinke, if he comes and be good, that is just better for for Ghana. That is just more players Ghana has to fit a complete squad,
Yeah, I think that's fair. So I think for that's where I look at it and say that's where the potential plots could be, where we're really going to start this. Yep. So yeah,
Lamptey better than
Trent.
Trent.
The Liverpool days are real.
Be honest, Lamptey, I had a season where in which you could talk about him and anybody, but injury
We'll
killed
see.
that man career, man. Yeah, and he was tiny. And Lamptey is how much? 5'0" or something?
He's like 5'4". Like he's not tall. He's not tall.
Oh no, I know he's not tall, but I'm
Mhm.
telling you that 5'0", 5'4", 5'9", but he said
Mhm.
he's 5'4", so that seems a little bit taller than what I
Mhm.
expected.
No, that's true. That's true. Irevibe says Nketiah potential 9. For me, Nketiah, Callum Hudson-Odoi, I think they're waiting for that England call up. So like if they come, they come. But I have Christopher Bonsuba. I'm good. I'm good.
The short man argument, people we are in a safe space. Africans, we're in a tell the people that we're in a safe space. We can talk normal. This short man angry problem. I'm not in it with you, Isa. I just described the individual if he is that short, because I remember that he was looking too short for him to be playing so aggressive. That's all. So I'm not in the short man argument. Yes, because I got too much threaten text on about short argument. I am not in it. I am not the short man. Them too angry, man. Yes, African continue big boss. I'm not in short. Short people too angry,
Yes.
African says he's short, He says he's short, but he seems to be less angry. So I don't believe that he's that as short as what he says, Yeah, because look, in the world, all of the youngsters people, they are very short. So all of these bad politicians and gangsters, Kendrick Lamar, very short.
Listen. I am in a peaceful place right now, so I don't need any of this.
What?
Y'all are vibing this out too much, man. Y'all are vibing this out too much. But hey, guys, I think we're about to lose the plot, so we're gonna wrap it right here.
Yes, it is the period where everything goes go bonkers.
Yes. So you
Yes.
guys enjoy the games
prediction,
tomorrow.
Have you give a prediction for Ghana Trinidad?
My prediction is going to be 4-2. I want all the goals, please. So Rio Cardines with a nice free kick, and then I'm gonna go Bonsuba with a goal, Thomas Asante with a goal. I don't know. Felix can score a goal too. I don't care, and Shamiro can do it.
You
Yes.
can't do Trinidad like that, man. You have to show some
4-2.
So with you want to run out? Maybe you have something to do, let me know, because just
Oh
want to
yeah,
ask what last question.
I do.
Okay.
I do have something.
All right, so with Trinidad, so Trinidad will get battered 2 times. So what that says for Trinidad, and then once you finish, we're done.
There's nothing wrong. This is not Trinidad's top team. Secondly, it's my same conversation with Ghana. They know Rio Cardines is coming, and they have other players that they've seen good things from. So it's 2 friendlies. You've learned something. Would you like to win them? Of course. Are you going to win all your friendlies? No. So learn something and go. Their team isn't terrible. Like their team is coming, and we'll see what they're able to do in World Cup qualifiers. I think it's how they play. If they can, the save for both those teams, if both sides, Ghana and Trinidad, can translate their second halves for a full 90, that's impossible. But if they can at least give me 60 minutes of that, we know then, okay, we know that we're capable of that. Then the standard of how we look at them, we go from there. I don't know how
said
Ghana's
Trinidad
going to
can
treat this
definitely
game.
beat. Trinidad said, and Henry said Trinidad can. People. It is the time that people gets upset, and starts a fight. The 1.5 angry hour special.
Once you see, but CJD, it's once we pass the 90 minutes, once we go to additional time, everyone's like, why we have 10 minutes? Why?
You can cut it. You can
Every
cut
team
it.
has to
I
be a
have no
solid
problem.
90.
So, people, what we're going to do, we're going to do this, Africans, is it going to be, I'm just going to stream the whole damn day? Because the first game is what time? Early, and then it goes straight into, or I should do 2 separate streams.
I mean, for your sanity, do 2 separate streams.
Yes, so I can get a little break in between. Yeah, so people, I'm gonna do 2 separate streams on both channels. I'm gonna be streaming both games. All right, so look out for them, and we are going to have some good times, football conversations, and we keep on trying to rise to the top. Africans need to reach 20,000 subscribers, and I need to reach 75,000 subscribers before the year finishes. So we know we might not reach it, but we're trying. We're trying. All right.
Yes, but yes, we'll do that. So, guys, enjoy the games tomorrow. I will be in and out because I am all over the place tomorrow. So, I know I didn't schedule this because I knew they'd be playing today in case they lose. I'm letting you know now. I was already.
I did 6 hours straight for Jamaica talking nothing about football. So why I can't stay 6 hours to talk about football? It's okay. We will do the 2 hours, the breaks. All right, scrub boss. Jesus God, what is that? What is
and with that, boys, we will end.
And that's people take care. Let me hold on, Africans. Don't close it. Let me close my stream first.
Yeah.
Because you do it now. What you do? Can you stop it for me? Oh no, I can't stop it over here.
Yeah, you stop it there. Yeah.
Yes. All right. You go ahead. It stops.
All right, guys. Thank you again, and we will see you all. Enjoy the games this weekend. We'll be out.
Thank you.